What are you looking forward to in the Disco Dingo, and is it going to eat my desktop, as it were?
The desktop eating dingo.
Yes.
Well, if you look at the curve of snaps, the number of snaps that are out there, it's pretty fantastic. There's 7 to 10 new snaps published every day.
Yeah.
And there are several hundred active developers publishing snaps, which is actually a pretty sizable body of developers. There's several thousand developers who have published snaps, but having hundreds who publish on a monthly basis is pretty fantastic. For me, what's really exciting about snaps is that they're essentially like a binary face to GitHub, right? So if you think of how GitHub has just massively amplified the number of different parallel streams of innovation there are out there, and reduced the cycle of the publication time, right? Releases used to come out every year or two for an open source project. Now they come out every quarter or every sort of 4 months. And snaps are a way of delivering that code to users in binary form at a speed that can keep up with what GitHub can produce.
Yeah.
So snaps introduce some really nice ways for publishers to express how they're publishing their software. So, if you think about the Deb approach, which has worked very well for us for 20 years, and there's nothing wrong with it, there's nothing broken with it, right? But it requires essentially that we take a one-time view of all of the software. So 1804 ships, there's thousands of pieces of software. There's a particular version of Go, there's a particular version of Rust, there's a particular version of PHP, there's a particular version of, and that's it. It's really hard to change that after that because, lots of packages are built with that particular version of C++. We can't just suddenly change that because we may break the ability to rebuild something in the same version of the distro. Everything's kind of interlinked in a way that's nice, but also limiting over time. The way snaps work is if you publish a snap, Golang, if you're the publisher of Golang, you can say simultaneously, I want to publish Golang 1.10, 1.11, 1.12, 2.0 simultaneously. And those publications are simultaneously available on Ubuntu 16, 18, Debian, and Fedora, which is kind of great. And then you can publish, at the same time, you can publish a stable version, a candidate version, a beta version, and an edge version. The edge version is what's getting built live out of GitHub, effectively. You hook that up to GitHub. Anybody who literally wants to be running the latest commit in GitHub, they subscribe to the edge channel. Somebody who wants an early preview of what's about to become stable could go to candidate, or they could go to beta. Someone who wants stable goes on to stable. But then, in addition to that, there's this idea of branches. So say you've got a hotfix, or you've got a feature branch that you want people to try out, you can publish that as well. So you can say to people things like, why don't you just snap switch Golang to 2.0/stable/hotfix 32, and then they will literally get that binary. And so it's just this great way for publishers to say, here are all the different versions of the software that I want my users to be able to test. It's a great way for users to say, for example, I'm interested in betas, or I'm interested in RCs, or I'm interested only in stable stuff. And Snapd finds a way to kind of have them meet in the middle.
And when we're talking about the Dingo, is there going to be a different type of snap integration than what I'm used to now with 04 or 1810, I guess?
Each cycle we're effectively making it easier to build and publish snaps that are more deeply integrated into the system, so that the more core functionality of the platform effectively can be expressed as a snap.
And then I know now we're talking 3 releases. That will be 3 releases after Unity is no longer with us. What have you seen in terms of GNOME Shell and the types of work that I know your team has been working on, such that you've made it feel more elegant, as it were, and comfortable for your needs?
Well, elegance is in the eye of the beholder. I think the GNOME team, it's great to be collaborating with the GNOME team again, and I think I'm grateful for the work that they do. Look, we would have been in serious trouble if we needed to bring Unity to an end and we didn't have GNOME. And so, I'm grateful to their work, to them for their work, and it's nice to be collaborating. We're collaborating really well around things like GNOME software, with the ability to publish snaps and make them available to people through GNOME software, for example. And in the GNOME upstream, building automatically building snaps of GNOME upstream. Our community is used to Unity, and so they like that particular workflow. And so I wouldn't describe that as more elegant
Sure.
than vanilla GNOME, but there's a lot of demand for that sort of set of experiences.
Yeah.
And yeah, 1904 does reintroduce some of those sort of ways of working effectively for people who like it that way.